of shaitan in here. Keep it outside. Then say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Shaitan is your enemy. But 21st century people, they are being very friendly with that one. Especially Muslims. The other ones already going top speed to the wrong direction. But the Muslims, they are falling into a endless, deepless ghaflet trouble. Muslims, they are in big ghaflet. Ghaflet is heedlessness. Muslims, they are not being aware of about themselves. If you're not being aware of yourself, how are you going to be aware of the shaitan that is running after you? First, you have to know yourself. So, Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Medet ya Seyyid Sultan Evliya. We are asking help and support from the Evliya Allah. Because of them, we still finding just a little bit right road to follow. If it was not for them, completely Islam would be vanished today. As we say, we can see through 1.5 billion Muslims everywhere in the world, but how many of them the quality that fits to the quality of the ashab, the Sahabe-i Kiram? Sahabe-i Kiram, they didn't study in the universities. They didn't have money. They didn't have wealth. Couple of them. And those who had, they turn around and they give everything in the way of Allah. Their aim, their plan, and their intention was not to earn the dunya, to run after to become a slave to dunya. They were running to be a servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But before they coming to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every one of them, they were in big trouble. They were in darkness. They were the people of Jahiliyyah, the ignorant ones. What about Muslims today? What Holy Prophet saying? Saying second Jahiliyyah is going to be worse than the first Jahiliyyah. Allah. They were not knowing Islam. They were not knowing anything. And they were in darkness. As soon as they turn to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, they find the light. And they reach to the highest station that no man can reach. But the Holy Prophet is saying to them, second Jahiliyyah is going to be the worse than the first one, worse than what you're doing. People of second Jahiliyyah time. And they're going to come in Ahir Zaman, this time. And they're going to claim that they are the best of the Muslims. But in so many of them, you're not going to find drop of faith. Is that what happened right now, or I'm mistaking? Definitely, Holy Prophet is not mistaking. But what do you think? Isn't that what's happening right now? If you don't know, look at yourselves. Look what you are busy with. Look what your aim is. Look what you're trying to earn. You will understand it then. You don't need to go around to find Sheikh and Imams to talk about it. No, look at your activities, what you are busy with. Are you busy with dunya or you are busy with akhirat? Are you busy with this world or you are busy with your Lord? Look at yourself and you will know. What is it? What is dunya? I tell you what this dunya is. Anything that keeps you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is your dunya. That is your world. So you are busy with that. Then your trouble is not finishing. It's doubling. Every day is doubling more and more and more. When is going to end? Just like the Sahabe-i Kiram. As soon as they turned to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and he said to them, leave this, leave that, leave this, leave that. Yes, Ya Rasulallah. Complete obedience, they reach to the highest place. Muslims, Holy Prophet saying in Ahir Zaman is going to be worse than this one because they all going to claim that they are knowing. But they're going to learn so many wrong things that never mind it fitting into Islam is not fitting into any religion. And they're going to be worse than this time. Because when they're claiming to know something, they are not open to learn anything. So if you came here filled up with so much knowledges, you are going out from here empty again. When you're coming here, emptying your cup outside in your house and coming here empty, we can fill you up with so many things. But if you are filled up, just like this glass, no place to put anything in it. What you brought here, you're going to go back with it. Whatever we say is going to enter through one ear, it's going to come out from the other side. It's not going to help you. Doesn't matter if I speak or if it's the Sultan al-Awliya, he speaks. Or if Abdul Qadir Geylani Qaddes Allahu Sirruh gets up from the grave and speaks, or Shah Naksibendi, or any prophet. If you are closing yourself to that, you're not going to get anything. Do we have an incident that happened like that too? Of course. Abu Jahl, he claimed that he knew something. Abu Lahab, he claimed that he knew something, and he did not listen. He did not become obedient to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and he got a title also. Abu Bakr got a title also. Abu Bakr was a man with a knowledge, but he put everything aside, saying, this one is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is obligation to me to have complete obedience to this one. And he has a title, Abu Bakr Siddiq. Abu Jahl has a title also, because he says to the Prophet, what are you talking about? I know more than you two. I study and I know. So he got a title, Abu Jahl, father of all the ignorance. That's why Holy Prophet ﷺ, when in the Badr war, Abu Jahl is finished and his head is cut off from the body. Ibn Masud radiallahu anh, that incident happened. Ibn Masud was a short, skinny, very physically was very weak Sahabi. But he was in the front line because he was filled with knowledge. He was one of the Hafiz of the Rasulullah that he knew the whole Quran, Quran-i-Kerim. And when Surah Al-Rahman start coming down, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Halakal Insan. Understand these three ayat, you become the best of the alim in the world right now. It's enough to understand these three for you, and it is enough for you to live according to those, to find the right road, to have connection even with the people who pass from this world. So, Holy Prophet saying, who's going to say this? This surah is coming down now. Who's going to say this surah to the ignorance of the Mecca people? Because when the surah is coming down that time, one messenger going and speaking, saying, this is the new surah, new ayat coming, and he's speaking in the front of the Kaaba, and those ignorants, they were listening, hearing. And they're saying Muhammad is writing new poetry now. Because that time the poetry was the top. And Holy Prophet saying, which one of you going to go out to read this surah? Nobody stood up. Ibn Masud, he got up. And Holy Prophet looking at him, asking one more time, saying, go, Ya Ibn Masud, say, and go and tell this to Abu Jahl. And he came and he started reading Surah Al-Rahman. And Abu Jahl got so upset to him, saying, oh, you old slave. He was a slave, Ibn Masud, saying, you became a man enough to stand here where the people with lineage stands and talks, and you speaking, and he got up saying, smack him one time. Abu Jahl was physically a strong one. And when he smacked him, he cut his ear off too. His ear was ripped off and bleeding everywhere. And Ibn Masud came back to the Prophet ﷺ, bleeding. And the Prophet saying, what happened? And the Sahabe Kiram, they all said, Jibril ﷺ came down. And he was smiling, laughing. And the Holy Prophet saying, Ya Jibril, me and all these Sahabis, they were set, they are set. And you coming down and you are laughing and smiling. What is the secret behind this? Jibril ﷺ saying to him, you will know, Ya Rasulullah. When the time comes, you will know. I am laughing, I am smiling because I am seeing something. So when the time comes, you will know. So when the Badr war happened, and the Holy Prophet kept Ibn Masud in the back, he sent the other lines in the front line, and the Ibn Masud was in the back, because if you send him among that crowd, 1, 2, 3, he may be finished. But Prophet didn't want to waste that man with a knowledge just like that, and he kept him back. And when the war finished, he said to him, Ya Ibn Masud, now go to the war zone, and all those that they have died or they are suffering, if they didn't die, finish them. And look for Abu Jahl too. And he came, looking, and Abu Jahl was laying down like a falling down tree. Allah is talking about the ignorance and the arrogance. He says they are like a big, thick trees, empty, hollow tree. So he was like that. And taking the last breath of his life, suffering, bleeding everywhere. So Ibn Masud, he came and he stepped on his chest. And that one opened his eyes. He cannot move. Who is that? Saying, it is me, your slave, Ibn Masud. He said, I remember the day that you smacked me one time and you cut my ear off because I was reading for you Surah Al-Rahman. And it says the worst ignorant one, when he hears that surah, becomes, he will have a faith. But you lost even that time. So I am here now to finish you. Says, now you cannot move. And I'm going to cut your head from your body. And that one saying now, I know when you're going to go to Muhammad, والسلام, he's going to wish, he's going to say that I wish I was there last minutes of his life that he may accept the shahadat. Says, go and tell him that the way that I was making boos, cursing astaghfirullah to him, I am making hundred thousands of more right now to him, more. And the Masud saying, you speak more, huh? He thinks, and he cuts his neck off. And he said it's so big he couldn't carry it. And he put on the spear like that and he started dragging it. And he came to the presence of the Holy Prophet. Before his coming, Jibril alayhi salam came down again, laughing again. And the Prophet saying, what happened, Ya Jibril? He says, you will know, Ya Rasulullah, you will know. And Ibn Masud just came in with the head. He says, you remember when Abu Jahl smacked him and I came down and I was smiling, you were all sad? He said, yes. I have seen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the ear of Ibn Masud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the head to him as a present. And I have seen that now he's here. So when Holy Prophet ﷺ was walking around among the dead people, and when he have seen Abu Jahl, and he have said, this one became worse than the Firaun of Musa alayhi salam, because Firaun, at least last minute of his life, he tried to say the shahadat, but they put everything in his mouth. Says this one, the last words of his life, he was going it with more curses. Curses to him now. And he said he got a title, Holy Prophet saying, this one is the father of ignorance. Abu Jahl. He went with more donkey than he came to this world. Now, you and I, we are in trouble. How are you going to go out from this world? Are you going out with the characteristic of Abu Jahl, or with the characteristics of Abu Bakr? Whichever the one you are busy with, that's what you're going to go on with. Abu Jahl was busy with dunya. Abu Bakr Siddiq was busy with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So, correct yourselves, starting with me. Correct yourselves, because you don't have too much time left, wasting your life later, and later you are entering to an endless trouble, endless, eternal trouble. that no chance will be given to you one more time to come to this world to fix it again. So I know so many Muslims, they don't know their New Year, but they know this New Year. So Happy New Year to you. Our New Year just entered earlier, Muharram. And we are in year 1432. This is Western New Year. As I say, majority of the Muslims, they don't know this. They only know this New Year. Doesn't matter now, because there's so much trouble everywhere that we see this even a small thing now. So just advice to you a little bit and to me, ask yourself, 1 year has passed. 1 year has 365 days in it. Did I keep 365 days, 5 daily prayer? Ask yourself. In this 365 years, 1 month is a holy month of Ramadan. How many days I have fast? Ask yourself. Ask. Say to yourself, in this 365 days, what I was busy most of the time with? I was busy with Allah and His Prophet, or I was busy with this dunya? Ask yourself, not only asking yourself, be sincere with yourself. Lock yourself into a room, don't go asking to anybody. Ask to your own self, say, nobody is here to hear now, it's you and me, my ego. You cannot lie to anybody. Say to yourself, what did you do? So say to yourself, how many times in these 365 days you went and you did something for Allah's sake? How many times in these 365 days you went and you did something, you ran after some poor person to do good things to them? Ask this to yourself and make intention to yourself that now we are entering to another year. I know definitely, say to yourself, definitely you didn't finish, you didn't complete this task this last year. So many prayers you have missed it, or you missed the timing. You're making timing according you like it in these days, of course. But Allah is sending subhanahu wa ta'ala to you according His timing, saying this is the time that you have to pray. Not when you want it, when I want it. You're going to fix yourself. So fix yourself according to that if you like. If you don't like, continue. If Allah is going to give you another year, another 365 days is going to pass, you're going to turn back and you're going to look. Whatever you have earned, and it is dunya, if you earn the whole dunya that is yours, you're going to leave it here, you're going to go out empty. It's not going to benefit you unless you use it in the way of Allah and His Prophet. Otherwise, no benefit to you. No benefit, maybe it's a trouble. It's not only a benefit. Maybe it's a big trouble to you. Big questioning. People running to earn more, but they are forgetting that they're going to be questioned for the things that they own, for the things that they have earned through halal. If you didn't earn that through halal way, you will not be questioned. You will be punished for it. So fix yourself. The breath of life is with you. Don't delay it for tomorrow, because who knows? Maybe Azrael visits you tonight. Maybe angel of death comes. Maybe your time is up tonight. So that time You're not going to find so many good things in the grave. You will find what you have sent there. If you are busy with dunya, if you are busy with the orders that Allah gives to you opposite, saying you have to be busy with my orders, your reason of creation is to know me and to worship me. This is what your reason of creation. If you are not doing that, you can earn the whole world, has no value. If Azrael comes tonight, they wrap your book, it's finished. No help is going to reach to you from that dunya. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granting us this breath of life, first to be a thankful servant, and to run to do good things in His way. If we don't do it, our life became miserable. Now you know how miserable your lives became. You don't need anybody to tell you. You know by your own self. Most likely everyone here, they have most of the dunya, but you're still suffering. No happiness. Happiness is not there. So because it's no happiness, you are running more here and there thinking that you're going to find it somewhere. You're not going to. Because happiness doesn't come that way. Happiness comes to you through obedience. Through obedience to your Lord. So inshallah Rahman, these words are for you and for me. If you like it, take it, apply to your life, become better servant, prepare yourself to the grave. Prepare yourself for Akhirat. Doesn't matter the new year came. One new year came and you became 1 year or more, 1 more year older. You became 1 more year closer to the grave. That's what happened to you. Nothing else. Ve min Allahu tevfik ve hürmeti hayy ve hürmeti Fatiha. Almost like that. We are making intention to be with our Lord, inshallah. To say Allah. That's what you have been created for. To say Allah. To say La ilaha illallah. Inshallah, we are practicing through the tongue. And one day it may enter into our heart. And our heart will be busy with our Lord while we are busy with this dunya. That time you are the winner. You will be having dunya and akhirat. Otherwise, it's other way around now. Most of the people, even in the prayer time, Allahu Akbar, their body is in the Allah way, their heart is busy with dunya. That's how it is today. So inshallah, that will change. That can change only through sincerity. First, you have to be sincere with your own self, either with your own Lord. Then, you have to ask help from Him, and not only asking help from Him, you have to use the intercession of those ones that He allows to ask. Because long as you are disobedient servant, your prayers does not reach anywhere. But when you are using the obedient servants for their behalf, it may reach somewhere. So let's renew our faith, saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.